Hello, welcome to the Richardson Simple Living. My name's Maria. If you're new here, I vlog mainly about homeschooling, urban homesteading and home life. And today's about home life because it's going to be cooking and we're going to do something in the air fryer. Now I feel a bit of a cheat today because I'm not actually going to do anything from scratch. I thought I'm going to try something out of a jar and see what it turns out like. So I've never tried, well, no, I don't think I've tried anything shop bought yet. You have to excuse me if I'm squinting a bit, the light's in the way, and I pulled the blind down closest to you, but it's a bit bright. So anyway, what am I doing? A tomato and herb pasta bake. Now, I'm not sure who's going to eat it because my lot don't really like things like spaghetti bolognese and stuff like that, and they will eat pasta bake if they're in the mood, which I don't really understand because, I mean, it's the same sort of sauces. Well, these are a little bit creamier. But I thought, well, we'll give it a go. I've got some in the cupboard and I thought, we'll give it a go and see what sort of a ready-made type of thing comes out like. See, my idea, what I want to do, you know, I've got a garden, I've told you before, I've got a garden and I'm growing tomatoes and things that I get a glut of them. I'm hoping to make my own sauces and put a few herbs to them and jar them up. And then I can do them for things like pasta bake and bake that sort of thing with them. And I thought that might be quite nice then, you know, to have a go in the air fryer with them when they're done. So we're doing artificial at the moment. We'll give these a try. So it's quite simple, quite straightforward. All you need is 200 grams of pasta. It can be a pasta of your choice. I've got the Twist. I think that's the most common one they use with pasta bakes, but it can be anything. So we're going to, I'll bring you down actually. Let me just say without you seeing. There we are. I'm going to put it in the dish. I'm hoping that the dish is big enough because quite often make them in bigger dishes when I've made them before. And I don't know whether it'll go over the top. I don't think it will, but we'll see. So we're going to take the jar of sauce, nice and quick and easy for meals if you're in a hurry. But like I say, I want to do my own sauces, providing my tomatoes grow, that is. We'll see what happens. Depends on the weather, how hot it gets. Last year they were a bit hit and miss. They were going off before they were actually ready because of the heat. But that's what I'm hoping to do this year. Spoon this in. Like I say, I feel a bit of a cheat having one that's in a jar. Right, so scoop that in, and then it tells you to fill it with water up to the top of the label. So I'm just going to go behind you and get a bit of cold water so we can fill it. There we are. That's took it to the top of the label. We'll put the lid on. We'll give it a shake and hope that don't get covered. I'll get rid of all the excess sauce that's in there then that's stuck to the sides. And we'll pour that in. And then we'll give it a good stir. Just put that there. I think I better get a cloth and wipe my hands. That's the only thing when you're dealing with sauces and things like that. You get a bit sticky. So we'll mix it all in now. So it's all nice and even and coated. Got to do it carefully because like I say, my dish isn't very big. Although it won't rise. I mean, obviously the pasta will swell out, but it shouldn't cause it to rise. We should be okay with that. So make sure it's all mixed in and the sauce is all mixed into the water. So we've got a nice runny tomato sauce. You can get different pasta bakes. I got this one in Aldi. They do a tomato, no, sorry, not a tomato, a bacon one in a white sauce. I think I stand more chance of a lot of my family eating that than I do this one. But they're hit and miss. tell you they don't eat things, and then it's there and it's like, oh, just fancy that. But maybe we're all the same, I don't know. Right then, so that's done that. What we're going to do now, it gets cooked in 2 parts. Even when it's in the oven, you do it in 2 parts. So I'm going to put it in for what would be in the oven 25 minutes. I'm going to find the equivalent on my sheet to put it in. I think it's said to cook at 180. I can find where it says, oh yeah, right at the top, 180 degrees centigrade. So we'll just have a look at the sheet. Actually, before we do that, we'll get it into the air fryer. Again, it's another one of those runny sort of things that I've got to be careful with. So let's pop it in there. And very carefully. At least it's not right up to the top, so we should be okay. So I'll just get my little converter sheet and we shall see what it says. I just googled this and then printed it off, so I'm hoping it works. It's worked for most things so far. The only thing I do want to do, and I don't know if any of you know and could tell me, but I've got a steam on mine. And although I know how to work it, because obviously I can see the button for steam, but I've got no timings for it. And I'm assuming it would work, well, cook quicker than if you were steaming on a cooker top or something like that. So how would I go about converting the times from the cooker top to the steam on here? Does anybody have any idea? If so, please drop down below, you know, what the timings are for the steamer compared to the cooker top, and then maybe I can start having to go at steaming some things as well. So anyway, 180 degrees it said. So well, my converter starts at 190, so let's have a look. 60, 50. So it would be 140 then we'd do it to. Let's switch it on. I'm always forgetting to switch it on and then thinking, what's wrong with it? So yeah, can you see me and that? Then let's save. How's that? So what did I say? We'll do it at 140. It's a bit hard to see with the sun at the moment, or we won't air fry. And we're going down to 140. And the minutes, 25 minutes. So have a look, oven time for 25 minutes is equal to 20 minutes on here. Right. And off we go. So we're going to come back to that when it's done, and then we're going to put some cheese on top of it. So we'll be back in a moment. So it's just ding, buzzed. I'm going to take it out now, and we're going to have to give it a stir at this stage. So I'll bring it down a little bit actually, so you can see what's happening rather than seeing me. Right. Right then. Spoon, I'll give it a stir. I think actually I need a tea towel just to stop it sliding about. Oh, that's cooking nicely, and you feel that the pasta's cooking nicely. I mean, last week I did a macaroni cheese, and to some people it might seem similar to a pasta bake, and I suppose in many ways it is, because it's the pasta and just like a cheese sauce. But the difference was I cooked the pasta beforehand then. Well, with the pasta bake you don't, you just pour your dried pasta in. But you can feel that it's cooking nicely. The sauce is thickening up lovely. So I think that'll be okay. So what we need to do now then is put cheese on it. Well, I haven't got no grated cheese, but I've got cheese slices. I've used them plenty of times before and they work out okay. So I'm going to pop them on top. Just put that in there in case I need it. So this is the worst part, just getting out the wrappers. We'll just place them over the top, just cover it. I think when I do grated cheese, I tend to put too much cheese on anyway. I get a bit carried away. It's like you've got to cover every little piece. It shouldn't be too bad. And it's always worked out in the oven before. Just cover all the top of it. And then we'll break another bit up just for the edges. The little bits we've missed. Don't have to be anything too spectacular. Just as long as it's more or less covered. Bit anyhow with me, but hey-ho, not to worry. There we are, that should do it. Don't really need any more than that. So we're going to pop it back into the air fryer. For some reason I wanted to say microwave there. Can you see okay? And we're going to put it on now for, if it was in the oven it'd be 20 minutes, but air fryer timing it's going to be 16 minutes. So if I can see with the sun, we're going to go back to air fry. It was 140, wasn't it, last time we did it on? And then 16 minutes. Right, so that's off, and hopefully now it should be cooked the next time it buzzes. We'll wait and see. Okay, so our pasta bake should be done now. We'll just get it out of the air fryer. Now it seems to have set. The only thing I would say different than the oven that I can see is the cheese slices on top don't seem to have browned. Now I've done them with cheese slices before, quite a few times in the oven, and they bubble up like cheese does and it browns. I mean, you can tell it's cheese slices, but it does bubble and it does brown. So it doesn't seem to have browned in here. It does look cooked, it does look set, and we'll take it out, but it hasn't browned. I may find I end up putting it in the oven just to brown it off. Though I probably wouldn't make a habit of doing these in the air fryer. It was more for an experiment, you know, on how it would turn out. Right, let's bring it up so you can see. As you can see, that's cooked nicely. I won't give it a taste test because I don't like things like this. I don't, I might have done added to bin the bacon and the white sauce one. But because it's tomato sauce, I don't like tomato sauce. That's me raving on about growing it and making my own sauces out of my own tomatoes. But I won't eat it. I do have to force myself to eat a tomato in the salad. But yeah, I've never ever eaten tomato. It's not a new thing. I was like it ever since I was little and first had my taste of them, and I've always been that way. So yeah. I'll probably let you know in the comments when it gets eaten a bit later on, and let you know how everybody found it then, and I'll drop it down into the comment section and let you know what it was like, what the others said it was like, the ones who will taste it, who are fine to have some. But yeah, like I said, the only thing is the top. It hasn't browned. Now every time I've used the air fryer before, things have browned lovely, got a nice golden brown, but this cheese hasn't. So like I said, I'll probably just brown it off under the grill or something like that. Probably just pop it under the grill and brown it off how we normally have it. So other than that, it's okay. It looks okay. I'll find a spoon and I can actually have a poke at the pasta or a fork. Yeah. That's soft enough. So yeah, the pasta is cooked fine. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to pop it under the grill and brown it off. and that should do the trick. And I'll let you know in the comments down below what it tasted like. I'll get some reaction from the others and let you know. So that's it for this week's cooking videos. Next week now, Tuesday, I'll be back to a homeschool video. I'm going to be covering year 8, what Sean did in year 8, and how we found year 8. So I'm going to be doing that on Tuesday. Wednesday is the end of the month, so I'm going to be taking part in a garden collab. I didn't realise we were so close to the end of the month. I thought we had another week. And then the lady who hosts the collaboration, she put her video on, and I was like, oh, it's the end of the month already. So I checked on the calendar, and sure enough it was. So I thought, I'm going to squeeze that in now. So I'm going to do it Wednesday, which will be the last day of the month. So if you're interested in what's grown in the garden and a quick chat and walk and chat around the garden, then that'll be on Wednesday. And then it'll be back to Friday for probably another air fryer recipe. There is something I want to try in the air fryer, but I won't say yet in case I don't get around to doing it. But there is something I haven't tried yet that I would like to try, see how it comes out. So that's that. Bank holiday weekend if you're in the UK this weekend, and if you're lucky enough to be able to have the whole weekend off, the whole bank holiday weekend, then I hope you have a good time and get up to some good stuff. But whether you do or don't, take care of yourselves, have a nice weekend, and I will see you at one point next week. Bye.